हेलो एंड अ वेरी वार्म वेलकम टू ऑल ऑफ यू। आप सभी का फिर से स्वागत है। माय डियर स्टूडेंट्स, इन दिस वीडियो लेक्चर वी आर गोइंग टू कंटिन्यू विद आवर पोस्टमॉर्टम सीरीज। सो अ वेरी गुड मॉर्निंग। काइंडली डू लेट मी नो whether I am audible, there is no technical glitch, the audio and video is working perfect. Then we shall start. So we have with us a lot of people. We have with us Ram, Bidhan, then I can see Sudeshna, Nisarga. Okay, good evening all of you. And it has been quite a like it last we have not met for last 20 days. So okay, super fine. चलिए शुरू करते हैं। तो मेरे प्यारे साथियों, हम पोस्टमॉर्टम सीरीज कंटिन्यू रखेंगे। In this video lecture we are going to look at question number 21 to 25, and we are going to have in-depth discussion over all the topics. We are going to discuss about each and every option. Okay, so let us begin. Question number 21st on your screen. So if you are somebody who is new to our channel, my name is Tushar Goyal. I'm a PhD research scholar at Center for Media Studies, JNU. I've qualified JRF. I've qualified several media related exams. On our channel you will find more than 250 lectures which are absolutely free and open access for everybody, and we have designed a full course for everybody, so you can go through it. And if you are somebody who's looking for any test series, you can also check out our application. Okay, so question number 21 on your screen, a very standard question of UGC NET NTA. You have to match the following. Okay, so instead of just going through the answer, I would also like to discuss about the relevance of all these films and these directors with all of you, because on your screen there are 4 films and 4 directors, but if you look at it, if you go through previous year question papers, you will find that there has been a pattern. So if you look at film like Citizen Kane, it has been asked multiple times. Okay, so instead of just going through A ka 1, B ka 2, we are going to discuss about every question, and we have to learn about the relevance of this particular film in film studies. So if you look at this film Citizen Kane, you won't believe me that this question has been repeated. The Citizen Kane, this was there in September 2024 as well. Okay, I have been talking about this film many a times, why this film is so important. तो सर आप जब भी डाउनलोड कर डाउनलोड ऑप्शन इज नॉट अवेलेबल. ओके, यू कैन डिजिटली एक्सेस ऑल द कंटेंट. It is written there. So Citizen Kane, why is this film so relevant in film studies? Okay, so there are 2-3 reasons. First of all, because of its technological finesse. Okay, when we learn about deep focus, shallow depth of field, all those photography, this film was directed by Orsen Welles. Okay, and why it is relevant for film studies and media studies is because it was based on the life of 2 very influential journalists. One was William Randolph Hearst, who was also associated with the concept of yellow journalism. Okay, and other was Joseph Pulitzer. So if you watch this film, a certain kind of technological finesse this film exhibits. So if you go through the idea of deep focus, we have discussed about this concept several times, and this has been asked in exam several times as well. So the idea of shallow depth of field and deep focus photography. So if you look at this particular frame, this is, I would say, a master class in filmmaking. If you look at this frame, what do we mean by deep focus? So deep focus is in this entire frame you won't find that idea of blur. Okay, the entire frame, it is it has a deep focus. So it has a foreground, midground and background. And if you look at this particular this is actually a landmark, I would say, kind of composition which Orson Welles could achieve because of his technical finesse, and also because of that technological team. So look at this story. Okay, these are leading lines. We have discussed this multiple times. So in this entire particular frame, so when we talk about focus in photography, or let's say filmmaking, the very basic idea is the idea of shallow depth of field. Multiple times it has been asked in your exam, what is shallow depth of field? So there is a subject, okay, in the foreground, एंड द सब्जेक्ट इज इन फोकस, द बैकग्राउंड हैज टू बी ब्लर, जो आप यूजुअली करते हो अपने मोबाइल के अंदर. दिस इज द आइडिया ऑफ deep focus photography. So deep focus is entire frame, you can see every element, and you are giving the audience to the power to choose, at which element do they want to look at. So here the drama is happening in foreground also, the drama is happening in midground also, and the drama is also happening is background. You are not directing, you can see, you are not directing the viewer to look at certain elements. The viewer has agency, okay, he or she has the freedom to look at anywhere he or she wants to look at. So that is the relevance of this film Citizen Kane by Orsen Welles. Okay, so another very important point is, this was another PYQ. So PYQs becomes very important. Okay, so William Randolph Hearst and Joseph Pulitzer, this character, so Citizen Kane, Orson Welles, he was the director as well as the lead actor of this film also. It was based on the life of this main character of Citizen Kane, Charles Foster Kane. He was a media baron. Okay, so this entire film, this entire narrative revolved around this person who was a media baron. Okay, the influence of media, mass media on society, how newspaper owners, okay, they could define the discourse in the society, what people should think about, the major question, okay, in the initial days of direct effect theories. So this was the major discourse where people used to think about what was actually this new emerging social institution which was mass media. What could it do? Okay, there were other social institutions, there was church, there were other religious institutions, then there were schools, marriage was one of the social institutions. Similarly, at the dawn of 20th century, with the coming up of new technologies, this new social institution, okay, this was not merely as innocuous as you can think. Social media या मीडिया के बारे में जब हम बात करते हैं, हमें लगता है ये सिर्फ फिल्म्स हैं, ये न्यूज़ है. नो, इट emerged as a social institution, and a social institution which has the power to define, to cultivate identities, cultivate ideas. Okay, so this film actually talked about that particular phenomena. That's why this film becomes very relevant for your subject. Then another a small homework for all of you. If we have to attain deep focus photography, okay, ये बहुत बारी आपसे सवाल पूछा गया ना. Very good, Ram, be happy. So what kind of aperture is used? Na, aperture, shutter speed, ISO. We have been talking about these three, we call this exposure bucket, the three triads of photography of exposure. Okay, so in order to achieve this deep focus photography, very simple question I'm asking you. I have seen this question in FTI question paper, that's why I'm asking you, what kind of aperture are you going to use? Are you going to use a large aperture, 1.8, or let's say 2.8 kind of aperture, or you are going to use small aperture like f10 or let's say f15? Okay, a very simple question I'm asking you. This could be asked in your exam also. In order to attain deep focus photography, what kind of aperture, or you can tell me in the comment box about the f stops. Okay sir, we can use f10, f15, or we can use f1.8 or 2.8. ठीक है, सिंपल सी चीज़ मैंने आपसे पूछी है. डोंट हरी, जस्ट गो इन look for this answer. ठीक है, read about this concept, deep focus, shallow depth of field, and what is the concept of deep focus. ठीक है, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. देन रियर विंडो बाय एल्फ्रेड हिचकॉक. देखिए, आप लोग जो तैयारी करते हैं बस इसको मैच कर लेते हैं, लर्न रट लेते हैं, बट बिलीव मी गाइज व्हेन आई से सो, एवरी फिल्म हैज़ दिस एकेडमिक रेलेवेंस टू योर सब्जेक्ट. ठीक है, अब सारे बच्चे अलग अलग जवाब दे रहे हैं, और पहले समझो इस बात को जो मैं पूछ रहा हूँ. अच्छा ये बताइए, f1.8 बड़ा अपर्चर है या f15 ज़्यादा बड़ा अपर्चर है? विच वन इज़ द बिगर अपर्चर, बिगर स्मॉलर? बेटे ये f1.8 ज़्यादा बिगर अपर्चर होगा. ठीक है, पहले ये चीज़ अपने लिए क्लियर कर लो, बिकॉज दिस इज़ द डायफ्राम एंड दिस इज़ इन फ्रैक्शंस. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. ठीक है, तो इसके बारे में जाइए, कुछ चीज़ें आपको पढ़नी होती है, डोंट हरी. ठीक है, आराम से ढूंढिए इसके बारे में, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है. आप हमारे जब एप्लीकेशन पे जाएंगे, इससे रिलेटेड टेस्ट भी है, तो ये बहुत ही सिंपल चीज़ है. मतलब जो बच्चे कैमरा चलाना जानते हैं वो तो बहुत ईजिली इसको कर पाएंगे. जो बच्चे टेक्निकली इतना साउंड नहीं होते, उनको प्रॉब्लम होती है, डोंट वरी, ये टाइम है, आप अच्छे से देखिए. हम क्या कर रहे हैं, हम जो रिसेंट क्वेश्चन पेपर है उसके सारे क्वेश्चंस को सॉल्व कर रहे हैं, ठीक है। लोग पुराने पुराने करते रहते हैं, हम जो रिसेंटली 2 महीने पहले हुआ है, इससे बढ़िया तरीका कोई नहीं हो सकता रिविजन के लिए, ठीक है। सो येस, 1 पॉइंट इज बिगर एंड F15 इज स्मॉलर, पहले ये अपना लिए क्लियर कीजिए, ठीक है। अब सोचिए दोबारा जो आप लिख रहे हैं वो सही है कि गलत है, और मुझे इसका जवाब आप कॉमेंट बॉक्स में ज़रूर दीजिएगा, ठीक है। ओके, राम ने प्रैक्टिकल भी किया, वेरी गुड राम, वेरी गुड। चलिए, राम इज़ माई फेवरेट स्टूडेंट बिकॉज ही इज़ हैप्पी, ठीक है। आप सब मुझे एक बार वो हैप्पी स्माइलीज भेजिए जो आप लोग भेजते हो ना, सो आई वुड गेट टू नो दैट यू ऑल आर हैप्पी। एंड देखिए, लास्ट फ्यू डेज आई हैव बीन ऑक्यूपाइड विद अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स, बट आप लोगों के मैसेजेस आ रहे थे तो मुझे लगा हमें रोज़ थोड़ा थोड़ा करते रहना चाहिए। बेशक 5-6 क्वेश्चन करके हम रिवाइज करेंगे, और आप लोगों के लिए मैंने पूरी की पूरी प्लेलिस्ट बना दी है हमारे यूट्यूब पे पेपर 2 की। पेपर 1 की भी धीरे धीरे देखिए जिस तरह से टाइम मिलेगा मैं करता रहूँगा, बट आपके एग्ज़ाम में सिर्फ 40 दिन बचे हैं, आपको पता है ना, तो एवरी डे, एवरी सिंगल डे काउंट्स, ठीक है। वेरी गुड बिदन, सो कीप ब्रिंगिंग दीज स्माइलीज इन द कमेंट बॉक्स, ठीक है। चलिए, अगली फिल्म है रियर विंडो। वाई रियर विंडो इज रेलिवेंट फॉर मीडिया स्टडीज? इट इज़ फॉर सेवरल रीजन्स, ठीक है। ओके, हाउ many of you have heard about or read the seminal work of Laura Mulvey's Visual Pleasure and Narrative Cinema? Okay, good, Manmohan, you are here also, very good. Okay, so मेरा कैमरा सही नहीं है, I don't know what you are talking about, artist world. Kindly don't digress. Please, it's a humble request for all of you. Don't digress. Participate in what we are doing right now. Okay. So, Rear Window, Alfred Hitchcock's, groundbreaking film. It is relevant. PDF. Okay, I'll do that. Okay, don't worry. It is relevant for several reasons. Okay. Laura Mulvey, she in her seminal work also talks about the works of Alfred Hitchcock. She talks about his other films as well, like Psycho, another landmark film. Vertigo is one of the greatest and influential films of Alfred Hitchcock. Why this film is relevant? The idea of voyeurism. Okay, when we talk about the theory of, let's say, the male gaze theory, so the very basic idea of voyeurism, looking at bodies. Okay, cinema gives you the power to look at bodies in a certain manner. So this film has been, let's say, a subject of study in several seminal works of feminist authors, feminist scholars like Laura Mulvey. Okay, Rear Window is significant in film studies for its exploration of voyeurism. Voyeurism is looking at people, or let's say looking at people in their private places, in their intimate places, without they being knowing that they are being watched. Okay, so this film is relevant for a lot of media theories as well, especially for feminist scholars like Laura Mulvey. This filmmaker Alfred Hitchcock, one of the greatest filmmakers, his work has been deeply studied. Okay, so Hitchcock's use of point of view shots, mise-en-scène, sound design creates a powerful cinematic experience. The major theme was of voyeurism. Voyeurism क्या है कि आप जैसे एक डिटेक्टिव होते हैं, ये दूसरे व्यक्ति की लाइफ, दूसरे लोगों की ज़िंदगी में झांक के देखना, ठीक है। सिनेमा की एक थीम होती है, जब आप थिएटर में बैठते हो आप दूसरों के जीवन में देखते हो, ठीक है। जब हम मेल गेज थ्योरी की बात करते हैं, सर्टेन बॉडीज दे आर बीइंग ऑल्सो लुक्ड एट बाय सर्टेन जेंडर्स. ओके, सो ये फिल्म इसलिए भी बहुत रिलेवेंट है. देन द अदर फिल्म्स जुरासिक पार्क एंड मोमेंटो, दे आर ऑल्सो important. If I talk about Memento, किसने ये फिल्म देखी है? We have, in the last lecture we learned about 3-act structure. This film defies 3-act structure. Okay, this film defies narrative screenplay writing in many ways. So this film is actually not beginning, middle and end. This film is end, middle and beginning. Okay, so because of its count, or you can say defiance of the standard 3-act structure, this film is very important. In India, a very very famous pop culture film Gajni was also a remake of this film. Okay, you must have watched that film. Then Jurassic Park, one of the very first film to so the computer animated, or let's say generated imagery has been used since अर्ली लेट्स से लेट 19th सेंचुरी, ठीक है. ट्रिप टू द मून आपने देखा होगा, पर जिस तरह से जुरासिक पार्क ने VFX का इस्तेमाल किया था. एंड दूसरा बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ थी द स्टार्ट ऑफ मर्चेंडाइज फिल्म मेकिंग, फ्रेंचाइजीज, देन सीक्वल्स, देन फिल्म, उसके फिल्म से रिलेटेड जो मर्चेंडाइजिंग थी, डायनासोर्स बिक रहे थे, टी शर्ट्स बिक रही थी. इट ऑल स्टार्टेड, और लेट्स से यू कैन से दैट जुरासिक पार्क एक्चुअली गेव अ पुश टू ऑल दोज मर्चेंडाइज फिल्म मेकिंग. ओके, सो दैट्स वाई दीज फिल्म्स आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, और बहुत बार इससे क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता है. देन सो आप इसको मैच कर सकते हैं. सिटीजन केन विल बी मैच्ड विद ऑर्सन वेलिस, ओके, 1941. जुरासिक पार्क विद स्टीवन स्पिलबर्ग. Then wait, Rear Window will be matched with Alfred Hitchcock because of its major themes of voyeurism, and Memento will be matched with Christopher Nolan. Very good. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. Now see, this question has been asked from media literature. Okay, dear students, am I audible? Is there I hope everything is fine. The technical there is no technical glitch. Okay, who is the author of the Society of Spectacle? Now this is a very, I would say, hot topic. Media literature has become very hot. They are asking a lot of questions every year. At least 5 to 6 questions are from only media literature. Okay, and now you will ask me, sir, give us a list of all the important media literature books. Believe me guys, I am doing PhD and I have realized there are more than 2000, 3000, even 10,000s of books. Okay, you can never learn about every book. So when you start engaging with this subject, you will get to learn about a lot of important authors. There are certain authors which keeps repeating. So the best way is that you go through all the last 15-16 year papers and you learn about all these authors and their books which have been repeatedly asked in all these papers. So on our application we have also created a test of 75 questions of media literature from last 15 years, okay, with detailed explanations. और मैंने अपने चैनल के ऊपर एक पूरी प्लेलिस्ट बनाई है, ठीक है. वी हैव कवर्ड दिस एंटायर टॉपिक ऑफ मीडिया लिटरेचर इन 4 पार्ट्स. सो आप उसको भी देखिए, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. सो देखिए, अब आंसर आप सबको पता होगा क्योंकि आंसर की आपके पास है. सो मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ कि इस सीरीज़ का मकसद ये है ही नहीं कि आप मुझे आंसर बताओ. वी हैव टू डिस्कस अबाउट दीज रेवोल्यूशनरी आइडियाज़. ओके, दे आर ऑल रेलेवेंट फॉर योर एग्जाम्स. They are relevant for your research proposals. These are actually the theoretical foundations, theoretical frameworks of all the research proposals you are preparing these days. So this is a seminal work, The Society of Spectacle by Guy Debord. Okay, what does this talk? What is the central theme of this book? So Society of Spectacle. एक बार ना आप लोग ये ईयर चेक कर लेना. मेरे ख्याल से मैंने गलत लिखा है, तो एक बार कोई चेक करके बताएगा मुझे इसका एग्जैक्ट ईयर क्या है. सोसाइटी ऑफ स्पेक्टिकल का, सोसाइटी ऑफ स्पेक्टिकल, यस, इट इज़ एक्चुअली 1967. देखिए एक एरर है, इसने गलत लिखा हुआ है. मुझे खुद पे डाउट हो जाता है, ठीक है. सो आपके क्वेश्चन पेपर में इतनी सारी मिस्टेक्स होती है, यही पोस्टमार्टम होता है कि हम अच्छे से देखें इसको, ठीक है. तो द आइडिया ऑफ post-modernistic society. Guy Debord, the French Marxist philosopher, he argues that in modern society, the idea of spectacle, it has taken over the our lives. मैं एक इमेज के थ्रू आपको ये सब कुछ समझाने की कोशिश करता हूँ, ठीक है. आप अपने डे टू डे लाइफ में कितनी सारी इमेजेस देखते होंगे. बिल बोर्ड्स पे, आप अपने मोबाइल फ़ोन में देखते होंगे कि कितनी सारी बैनर एडवर्टीजमेंट्स आपको दिखती है. तो ये एक एडवर्टाइजमेंट है रेमंड ब्रांड की, ठीक है. सो किस चीज़ की एडवर्टाइजमेंट है, मैं आप लोगों से पूछता हूँ, किस चीज़ की एडवर्टाइजमेंट है, आप बताइए. व्हाट इज़ द प्रोडक्ट इन दिस एडवर्टाइजमेंट? ही इज़ टॉकिंग अबाउट अ वेरी he is talking about a larger perspective which common people they cannot, they don't realize this thing. So this advertisement is actually about a garment brand, or let's say a suit brand. But the advertisements, okay, they the idea of spectacle, okay, what is spectacle? If I ask you, you all have to define a spectacle in 2-3 lines, ठीक है, in your own words you define what is spectacle for you. आप कोई दूसरा प्रोडक्ट लीजिए, दाग अच्छे हैं, ठीक है, सर्फ एक्सेल, डेयरी मिल्क की बात करें, या ठंडा मतलब कोका कोला, या अगर हम एक सिंपल से एक प्रोडक्ट की बात कर रहे हैं, जैसे कि आप फर्ज कीजिए टूथपेस्ट की बात कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, टूथपेस्ट एक प्रोडक्ट है जो मंजन का काम करेगा और आपके दांत साफ करेगा. बट एडवर्टाइजमेंट्स दे क्रिएट एन आइडिया ऑफ स्पेक्टिकल वेयर एवरीथिंग वेयर यू नो देयर इज एन एलिनेशन फ्रॉम द प्रोडक्ट विच इज बीइंग एडवर्टाइज्ड. इट बिकम्स समथिंग ऑल टुगेदर डिफरेंट. इट टॉक्स अबाउट द आइडिया ऑफ स्पेक्टिकल in the context of experiences, in context of aspiration. A small thing, let's say a simple pen, as simple as a trivial product like toothpaste, it has to become pass out, that you have heard that jingle. Or let's say a simple deodorant, it becomes it has to be sexualized in a certain manner to in order to sell it. So here the product is a simple shirt, or let's say coat, but what they are selling is the idea of aspiration. If somebody wears this suit by Raymond, that person is only successful, that person actually has the best married life, or that person is he's the most sought after person. Okay, so society of spectacle. Real life has been replaced by representations and images, creating a spectacle that people passively consume. So what is real life actually a scenario in this advertisement? It has to be this coat or this product, but what they are selling is more than this product. There's the idea of spectacle. Okay, we call this commodity fetishism. This idea has been given by Karl Marx. Okay, so he takes this forward in context of advertising, the world in which we are living. It is an implosion of meaning. There is image everywhere. Okay, you are surrounded by, so there was a study which suggests that in every day you are watching at least 10,000 images, consciously and unconsciously. You never know. Everywhere there is an image, there is a logo, there is a symbol, there is an advertisement. Okay, so how society looks up and on the product. Yes, the larger idea is the creation of a spectacle, the selling of an story experience. Okay, so in this work they board argues that in advanced capitalist societies, genuine social life is replaced by its representation. Images, advertisements, and mass media creates a spectacle that mediates all human relationships. Key concepts in this book are spectacle, commodity fetishism, and alienation. Alienation at several levels. Okay, first is let's say you get alienation in the form of product and experience also. Here they were selling this coat, but in this entire process of creating this advertisement, the idea of product has been lost. Okay, it has turned into altogether something very different. And alienation in also way that you never think about how this product was produced. Let's say who were the real workers, or let's say tailors who produced it. Okay, so there is let's say we call this white labeling. So there is a tag by Raymond's, but it has gone through a lot of systems and processes. Maybe people in, or let's say there were few brands, and there were allegations that people in third world poor countries, okay, they were exploited. They produce those goods, shoes, in the form of shoes. I won't take the name of that brand. Okay, so the consumer, he or she alienates himself or herself from the entire process of producing that product. Okay, chaliye. So who is the author of Society of Spectacle? It is Guy Debord. Okay, Boostin, who was he? He gave the concept of pseudo event. अब देखो ये सारे concepts important है. ठीक है, H.G. Wells he was an author. Michel Foucault, he gave the idea of, you can tell me the name of his book, Discipline and Punishment also. Okay, Manmohan, please don't digress. Okay, we are discussing something very important, and what you are asking, don't you think that it like it is not related to this what we are discussing? Kindly be attentive. Okay, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. Next question is question number 23. List 1, list 2, you have to match the following. Now this question is, little incoherent if you go through it, but let us discuss about this thing. Let us discuss what actually is three-tier broadcasting. So All India Radio, it works on three-tier broadcasting in a way that it has three different kinds of broadcasting. First is national broadcasting. So usually it is produced in its Delhi Kendra, which is let's say a standard broadcasting for entire India. Okay, if you have like if you have tuned in it in All India Radio, or let's say Akashvani on 26th January, the Republic Day parade, you must have heard that national broadcasting. Other is regional centers. Okay, so Marathi, Bangla, all those centers, each state has a regional station that broadcasts its regional in regional language and dialect. So all the content which is produced is regional. It is specific to demography. Okay, then there is local content in the form of FM radio stations. Okay, you can like FM Delhi Kendra. Okay, so अगर इसमें देखोगे, All India Radio will be matched with three-tier broadcasting, because it works on three-tier broadcasting in a way that it is the content produces for national, regional and local audience. Then FM channel, अब देखो incoherent है, there is no interconnected thread. FM channel can be matched with FM Gold. So FM Gold is also part of Akashvani only. Okay. Then radio announcer and station director, you can match it with program presentation. Radio announcer is responsible for program presentation. ठीक है, आप RJs भी कह लेते हो उसको. It's very incoherent, but let us discuss about it. Then station director will be program head. Okay, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. Arrange the following in ascending order of their first publication year. So about a very important recent phenomena which has been going on. So how many of you have heard about Indian knowledge system? Indian knowledge system. So this has become very relevant in India right now, especially in academics, and it is a very interdisciplinary kind of phenomena. And recently, if you have read about that draft of NEP 2020, you must have seen or realized that this has become academically very relevant. Recently, there were guidelines for assistant professor recruitment as well. So in a lot of examinations, whether it is UGC NET or let's say UPSC exam, there is this theme which is being repeating like in across all the exams. So what is Indian knowledge system? As you know that India, and when we talk about Indian subcontinent, it is more than 5,000 years old. Okay, we have records of a lot of things. So entire knowledge which has been produced, let's say if you look at Vedas, which is often considered to be one of the very first book which was coded orally. So entire corpus of knowledge which has been created in this entire Indian subcontinent, I'm talking about Indian subcontinent, okay, undivided Indian subcontinent, it is termed as Indian knowledge system. It consists of Vedas, it consists of scriptures like Ramayana, Mahabharata, it consists of seminal works in the field of astronomy, in the field of linguistics, in the field of literature, in the field of medicine, Ayurveda, in the field of let's say polity. Okay, so this the recent political dispensation, they are celebrating this Indian knowledge system, and a lot of funds, a lot of let's say conferences, research papers are being written in order to promote this. So this question is actually related to this only. Okay, arrange the following in ascending order of their first publication year. If you look at all these books, they are actually related to poetry. Okay, they are actually somehow related to the grammar, or let's say the treatise, poetics in Indian context. So Natya Shastra, it is a treatise on theatre, one of the oldest treatise on theatre. It is often considered as Pancham Ved also. Why Pancham Ved? Because it is often celebrated as Pancham Ved. Why? Because scholars, they opine that it constitutes of major let's say major teachings of all the four Vedas. Okay, so it is also considered as Pancham Ved. This is an ancient treatise on drama, dance, music. If you go through it, it has 36 chapters. And rasa theory, okay, it is more than only theater and drama. It actually talks about poetry, script writing. Okay, so and we have one dedicated video on Indian School of Communication on our channel. Okay, it is very important. Go through that video lecture. There have been a lot of questions in the past which has been asked from Indian School of Thought, because it is becoming relevant these days. So you need to learn about all those theories as well. Okay, then Kavya Darsha, it was written by Dandin. Dear students, when we talk about Indian knowledge system, it is actually a very vast corpus of knowledge. Okay, it constitutes of a lot of text, and it might become very let's say taxing for all of you to learn about all the text. But that's how you engage with knowledge. You have to go through all these PYQs. You need to learn about all the options in detail. Then अगर ये क्वेश्चन एग्जाम में आता तो हमने नाट्य शास्त्र की बात बहुत बारी की हुई है. ठीक है, यही चीज़ आप लोग एलिमिनेट कर सकते थे. देन अभिनव गुप्ता, ठीक है, ही इज़ ऑल्सो रिलेटेड टू नाट्य शास्त्र बिकॉज ही डिड one of the most you can say sought after or read commentary on Natya Shastra. So then these all books are somehow related to Indian poetry. Okay, then the second book is Kavya Darsha by Dandin. It is a significant work in Sanskrit poetics. It describes the essence of prose, focusing on long compounded words and their literary significance. So do you guys know about the difference between prose and verses? Prose and verses. Can anybody tell me what is the difference between prose and verses if you read about poetry? So prose is actually collection of words. It can be in the form of paragraph. Verses is when there is a meter to it. Okay, in poetry there is meter. Okay, so this particular book talks about the prose. It describes the essence of prose, focusing on long compounded words and their literary significance. The text provides valuable insights into poetic beauty and figure of speech. Then this is a very important book. It came in 9th century. Dhvanya Loka, a very important theory was I guess the theory of ध्वनि. ठीक है, बहुत ही सिंपल अगर मैं आपको इसका कॉन्सेप्ट समझाऊं, he suggests that not the words but the final effect of the theory of poetry is it what matters. ठीक है, शब्द से ज़्यादा जो एक पोइट्री का फाइनल इम्पैक्ट होता है किसी व्यक्ति के ऊपर, उस पर एक पोइट को ध्यान देना चाहिए. वो थ्योरी सजेस्ट करती है. देन लोकाना बाय अभिनव गुप्ता, इट इज़ द एक्सटेंशन ऑफ दिस बुक ओनली, ध्वना लोका. ठीक है, देन रसा गंधारा, this is a comprehensive and refined treatise of rasa theory and poetic expression. So it actually takes forward the work of rasa theory, okay, and the works of Dandin and Abhinav Gupta. Okay, so you should be very careful about Indian knowledge system. Indian knowledge system has become very relevant. In paper 1 as well, there is a topic called Indian logic. Okay, it was added very recently only. Okay, prose for conveying. Okay, good, very good. So you can go through it. Now last question for the day. Today I'm only going to take 5 questions. Arrange the following in sequential order according to the inverted pyramid news story format. So what is inverted pyramid? You all know about inverted pyramid. Your entire life has been all about inverted pyramid only, 5W1H. Okay, so it is a metaphor, or you can say that it is a way of writing news stories or blogs. So what does this suggest? It is inverted pyramid. The most important or let's say the most newsworthy information should come first. Who, what, when, where, why and how. We call this 5W1H. Okay, then important details, then other general info or background info. So in this question they have asked arrange the following in sequential order according to inverted pyramid news story. So सबसे ऊपर क्या आएगा, सबसे ऊपर मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट इन्फॉर्मेशन क्या होती है इनमें से, हेडलाइन होगी, ठीक है. वी हैव डिस्कस्ड अबाउट सेवरल टाइप्स ऑफ हेडलाइंस ऑल्सो. हमने किसी में क्वेश्चन मार्क होता था, ठीक है, उसके यूनिट 3 में हमने वो सारी हेडलाइंस के बारे में बात की थी. Then lead is the first paragraph in which you have to give the most important, or let's say most clickable information, who, when, where, what, why and how, ठीक है. Then the second lead, you can say that then important details which were missed in the first lead. Then expansion of first and second lead, this is a very common sense question. Then last would be minor details not covered so far, ठीक है. सो सबसे पहले आएगा आपका हेडलाइन. हर न्यूज़ स्टोरी में सबसे पहले हेडलाइन आती है ना, फिर फर्स्ट पैराग्राफ उसको आप फर्स्ट लीड कह लेते हो, सेकंड लीड, ठीक है, देन एक्सपेंशन ऑफ फर्स्ट एंड सेकंड लीड, एंड लास्ट इज द माइनर डिटेल्स, ठीक है. सो डियर स्टूडेंट्स, दैट वाज ऑल फ्रॉम माय साइड. वी शैल कंटिन्यू. देयर इज अ टाइम जोन डिफरेंस बिटवीन अस, सो आई विल ट्राई टू टेक lectures every day if possible, or we can plan lectures every alternate days, ठीक है. but the show must go on. you guys have 40 days in your hand. और मैं बार बार कहता हूँ कि देखिए 40 दिन में कुछ बच्चों की ज़िंदगी बदल जाएगी, तो वो बच्चे आप होने चाहिए, मैं चाहता हूँ, ठीक है. तो और हमारे सारे लेक्चर्स यूट्यूब पे अवेलेबल है. प्लीज़ अच्छे से तैयारी कीजिए और खुश रहिए. लेट अस कॉल दिस अ डे. थैंक यू बिदन. ओके, टेक केयर, बाय बाय.